Man, this is one that is big, to say the least, in the Big Seven, Coach.
Yeah, when the schedule came out, we kind of expected to have a scenario where this would be a pretty big game. All that has come to pass so far. We got dinged up a little middle of the season. We're starting to get a little healthier. So we're excited for that. Hopefully that continues as we get towards the end of the regular season, right? Anytime you have Neshannock on your schedule and then you're followed by Laurel and Rochester, you've just got, the meat of your schedule right there at the end. So it's going to be a fun few weeks starting with tonight. Neshannock does a very good job on both sides of the ball. They're physical, they're aggressive, they're disciplined, very well coached. So we're looking forward to it.
So 5-1 overall, 3-0 in the Big Seven. And let's be honest, you lost a lot of seniors coming into this year. Mm-hmm. So this team, even though there's a lot more to do, they've really lived up to expectations as far as what you believe they could do, but they made it become a reality when many people thought, young football team, it could be a very tough road. But so far, they've come through.
They have. They maybe surprised some people outside of here. I kind of knew what we had. We've got a really good core, strong core. They got a lot of experience last year. We were fortunate last year to get them varsity game reps. Limited JV schedule last year due to some different situations and where our depth was, but we're able to get a lot of varsity reps last year for these guys. Our young guys were playing against varsity starters. And so they did a lot of good things, came in, had a wonderful summer turnout throughout practices when we started up in May. All the way through August, camp was tremendous, everything you could ask for. So they always give us great effort, and that's what we tell them each and every game. Great effort, play their hearts out, and you can see that. So we're excited to see what they do tonight and then the next few weeks and off into the postseason.
Neshannock really is a pretty good football team, though, so this will be a major test for you tonight. But, when I think of what you've been able to do with this football program, it's special, but I also think about you as an educator and where you are in Geneva and that whole pathway. Let's talk about why that kind of worked for you to get you to this point, not just as a football coach, but as an educator. Go ahead.
It's funny. I started at Southside as an educator, but not coaching here.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm still coaching up at Geneva. And I think I may have told you this before. As part-time coach, I was running back coach up there, teaching special education down here. And I was jealous of the guys that were full-time. And not because, they got to devote, that's awesome, right? As a football coach, you want to devote your whole life to that. But they had that relationship with the guys that they saw day in and day out, right? So the opportunity to, as I'm coming in, I'm getting right out of the car, right to practice. And then, they're leaving to go to meal after practice. The full-time guys, they had the opportunity to sit in the office with the guys, right? Have a personal relationship with them, interact, joke. So it was missing that. And so now getting to coach and teach in the same, or, be a dean in the same building, it's wonderful. It's something that you cannot state enough how important it is to be able to see the kids and, go to their events, right? It blends the entire life together. It blends everything together. So hopefully you have an positive impact on them.
I was talking to a legendary football coach, Jim Rankin, yesterday. What a legend. Obviously, North Allegheny and Elwood City. Spent a little time in his house, and we ended up doing something at Coons Market, their corporate headquarters. We were in their conference room. One of the things he said to me, and obviously things have changed in the whole landscape of education now, but this is why I kind of asked that question to you. In a perfect world, you would love to see the coach with the students every day. It was a formula that was always there when I was growing up, and now because of sheer numbers and enrollment, it's changed. So you have to buy in on the fact, Coach, it's nice to be able to teach or be in the building with the student athletes every day, other than just at practice or on game day, right?
Right, absolutely. And that's what I just touched on, right? Just the opportunity to see them in the hallways. And, they're playing other sports. You get to see them in the hallways, celebrate what they're doing in basketball, baseball, track, wrestling. Then you're also able to promote what you're doing within your sport. You get that team chemistry and that team bond. And, sometimes it's the middle of basketball season. I'm a football coach. Somebody's being a jughead, right? I can go pull them out of class and I can have that conversation with them. And usually that's more effective than sometimes some of the punitive things. Just kind of get their head on straight and a good come to Jesus moment. So
let's talk a little bit about your team at this point. One of the things that I've always noticed covering football, when you get to this point, and it's October, weather's starting to change, the lights go on a Friday night a whole lot sooner. Practices, you're banged up, you're bruised, you're just trying to keep everybody healthy. You cannot afford to lose focus at all. What happens now really is the exclamation mark for the rest of the season and how you normally end the season, on the good side of things or a lot of things that you wish you could have accomplished, you kind of left on the table.
Mm-hmm. We had that conversation with our team on, can't remember if it was Monday or Tuesday, but we talked about the fact that at the end of the season, we want to be playing our best ball. So that means you come out each and every day of practice. Are we getting better? Are we here to actually improve and prepare for what we're going to do the next day? Or are we out here to practice so we can play in the game on Friday night? Right? And that word focus has been a key thing for us throughout the entire season, right? What is our focus? Like, are we being mentally disciplined? And we keep harping on those things, especially, as you said, I don't want to say young, but more in experience coming into the season. And so the more experience we get, hopefully the more we're able to learn, because experience is the best teacher. Right?
It is. Now, before I let you go, I want to talk about these seniors and hopefully getting them to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
Had this conversation with Gino DeMarco on our regular visit. When they were their successful Golden Tornado teams year in and year out, a lot of that talent came from Beaver County.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about why an athlete who is considering to play at that next level, if they're just looking for where that opportunity might be close to home, the Geneva experience, why it works, playing in front of your hometown fans, and more importantly, playing at that historic site that is Geneva College, why I believe in Geneva College. I want you to kind of convince maybe not just some Southside athletes, but athletes throughout Beaver County. They want to carry on playing football at the next level. You don't really have to look too far, do you?
No, you don't. I spent a lot of time up there, right? So I'm a little bit biased, and was there under Gino and Coach Contenta is the assistant head coach at that. I was in his wedding. I was his roommate, right? So guys that I'm really close with. But when you talk about what you're doing in high school athletics and what's the goal, what's the purpose, right? Those guys have the same mission and the same purpose. Yeah, they want to win football games. They're competitive. We all are, right? But those guys want to develop leaders, and they want to develop men that are going to go on to become, good fathers, good husbands, good businessmen, people that are going to be out and make a name for themselves and reflect. And so that's their whole mission. That's their whole value. If you're a parent, that's what you want to hear out of wherever you're trusting your son to go. And so those guys, I've seen them, they live it day in and day out. It's a special thing. It's a unique thing. And you don't find that everywhere.
Listen, I'm such a fan of high school sports and have been forever. And any time that you read that a freshman is playing varsity at the quarterback position, it just makes you go, somebody's got the pocket starts to close in on him. He just does what you ask him to do. It's rare to see someone that young have that kind of composure. And how fortunate are you thinking, boy, this is going to be a nice proving ground moving forward. Talk about your young quarterback.
Yeah, so Dawson, he comes in and we're getting him experience throughout the offseason, right? Every job, there's a competition. Every job you need to earn. I don't care if you started last year, you were top reserve last year, whatever. You need to earn that job. So Dawson and Will, throughout the offseason, they rotated, getting reps. Rotated through the scrimmage. We went into the first game, and Will got all the first half reps, and then we got Dawson some in the second half. Got him some experience against Beaver Falls, after the Western Beaver game that never was. And so he came in, he had game experience. Unfortunately, Will does a great job. We run a waggle, and Will ends up getting hurt, gets a helmet right to the collarbone, comes out of the game. Dawson was ready. He was prepared. He prepared all offseason for that moment. The crazy thing about him is he didn't play quarterback before 8th grade.
Really?
Yeah, so that was the first time him really playing quarterback. He ended up with an injury. I think it was like week 3 of the junior high season. So he didn't finish the year. So he's doing a lot of very good things, good footwork, but very inexperienced at the position. However, he's a good athlete, right? So good athletes kind of have some quiet confidence, and I can see, he's a freshman, and so there's some things he's unsure of, and he's learning and he's growing, but he's a smart kid. He's got a quiet confidence. He trusts his teammates, right? And so that's, I think, first and foremost. He trusts them to come out, and he doesn't feel like he needs to be the one to win the game. He's just a cog in the machine, and so if he has pressure in his face, he's trusting those guys to run the right route, be where they're supposed to be. I've seen him with pressure release the ball times where we've seen seniors get flustered and tuck it, right? So he just does an incredible job there. He's learning how the run game works together, when to make checks, get us into a better play, help to make us coaches look smart, right? So does an incredible job, but you're right, as a freshman to come in and do these things, he has a very bright future ahead of him.
All right, a couple more things, Luke, Travelpiece. Before we leave, we got a busy day today. Don't forget, on the radio all weekend long, beginning at 5 a.m. And, of course, we've got some football tonight, Power of Bowser, Friday Night Lights, Franklin Regional at Penn Trafford. What's cafeteria food mean to you? I absolutely love it, still to this day. So I have to ask, and you may or may not know, what's on the menu today?
I don't know for sure today. I have up in the office, I have some roast. Excuse me, I told you I've been fighting this all week.
That's okay, you're allowed.
I have roast up there. I'm going to be eating. I know they always have very good chicken patty sandwiches, so when I'm not prepared, I can go up and get the chicken patty. It's a Friday, so it's probably a pizza. What do you mean? It's corn dogs today.
Tell everybody who's filming this video. So
so this is Matej Pavlovich. He's one of our seniors. Does a tremendous job for us on all three sides of the ball. Linebacker, he's our leading tackler. I think he's our second leading rusher right now, first in touchdowns, and then of course he's just a all-conference kicker and punter that's wearing Missouri you got on right now. He's had some opportunities to go out and visit because of what he does with his legs. So nice. Yeah.
That's pretty special. So you're saying it's pizza today, Mateo?
Pizza's like side, and then corn dogs main.
Man, come on now. That's living large. I love it. Yeah. Hardest working people, those cafeteria workers, absolutely have such respect for them. One more thing. Isn't it amazing when you think about your senior year? Whenever I'm fortunate to come here or visit another school, you remember that fall of your senior year because it just seems like you're going to be around doing this forever. Then you come back after the holidays and it's like go time. You got to scramble. What am I going to do? Where am I going to go? Mm-hmm. It just goes by so quick. And from being that kindergarten or preschooler now, and then you just from elementary to middle school, and then here you are on the doorstep to the rest of your life. I really hope people like Mateo and others grasp every moment of it because, man, when it's gone, it's gone. So you got to enjoy even a Friday or a Monday during your senior season, right?
Yeah, we talk to them all the time. You never know when it's your last opportunity, your last experience. Don't take it for granted. Halftime last week, that was the speech, right?
Right.
You're only guaranteed so many more, and even that's not a guarantee. So take advantage of every moment, right? And so football, we talk about football moments and how does it apply to life. And it's the same thing here. They're guaranteed just over, 120 days left, I think, something like that. So not too many, 145 more days left. Not too many more, right, to be here in this building with your friends, with the kids you grew up with. And we're unique. We're special. These guys, they grew up in the same group. They didn't have different elementary schools. So they grew up together from kindergarten through high school. To be with those kids, make those experiences, because we're all going to go off into different areas, right? You got some people that will stay local, some people move to the city, some people out of state. It's one of those things you experience it, enjoy it as much as you can, right? Because it's going to go fly. It's going to go real fast, especially we tell them in the spring.
Well, look at the football season. I mean, it's almost to the end as far as the regular season. I mean, it just seems like we were just talking about it in August. It goes by so quick.
Yeah, it's hard to envision the fact that it's almost over already.
It is. I know. He's going to be graduating soon, but he's got a few more good runs and kicks and punts left in him for sure. I'm sure Mateo does a great job filming. Listen, I'm going to be heading to Janoski's, and I got some other surprises for you later today into tonight. And then, of course, as I mentioned, back on the radio. And don't forget those Coons Quality Food Sports Reports Saturday and Sunday morning, Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday show. And, of course, the Steelers will be at the Las Vegas Raiders. You've got Pitt and Cal tomorrow at AccuSure. So it's going to be a big, big weekend and a lot of things making news politically as well. I'll be talking about them, KDK Radio News, and we got some great Pittsburgh Works programming too. So please make sure that you join me. I've been doing it a long time, since about 1985. We'll see you in just a couple of hours right here and then back on the radio tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday. Love this school district. Some of the best faculty members anywhere in Western Pennsylvania. They do such a great job cultivating those young minds for that next step here at Southside. Beautiful Friday. It's your Pratt Pack. We'll be back in just a little bit. Stay with us.